Welcome back to the film room. Today we have Chief Safety Jaden Daniels looking at his tape from his rookie year. As I said in the Kingsley Suamataia film breakdown, that's who we're going to look at next. And so we're going to the defensive side of the ball for the first time this offseason. Jaden Hicks obviously coming off of his rookie year, heading into his second season. And the Chiefs, as you can see on the screen, really used him a lot there towards the end of the season. From week 14 on, he was a very instrumental part in this defense, playing a lot of snaps. He was 20 and above after week 14, obviously against the Chargers. Wasn't great, not a great grade on the coverage, good on the tackling, and run defense, decent. But and I do think that's kind of where he shines. But as you're going to see, Jaden Hicks is, he can be anywhere on the field at any time, really, and has very good awareness. Sometimes, his intuition, I think, isn't as great as other times, but we'll get into the tape, and we're going to break it all down here. All right, before we get into this film, make sure you drop a like on the video if you are enjoying these film breakdowns. It really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. Get this video pushed out to more football fans and Chiefs fans alike. Hit that subscribe button for me too as well. We are on the road to 500, trying to hit that before the NFL season starts. We got a couple of months left, and I really appreciate all the love you guys showed on that Kingsley Suamataia film breakdown. Both the Kingsley and Jalen Moore breakdowns will be linked in the description below. So let's start this out. Denver is going to have a little bit of motion on this play. Jaden Daniels is right here. He's creeping down into the box. Got two receivers and a tight end on this side. We're going to get motion over here, back to the other side, kind of work out for a 2x2 for the Denver Broncos on this play. Obviously, Jaden Hicks and the rest of kind of the reserves at this point really worked into the starting role pretty much, as he had above 20 snaps in every game after week 14. A season high total of 74 in this game against Denver. And so let's check this play out. I think this play kind of helps show the range. You see the defense kind of shifting around of Jaden Hicks right here. He's going to take this crossing route, and he's just going to stay with him. You got this crossing route across the field. Jaden Hicks on it, and really just does a good job going all the way across the field, helping out, getting a pass breakup right there against the Broncos. And a very good play. And from where he starts to where they finish, just the athleticism, I think, is shown right here for Jaden Hicks. Does a great job staying with his assignment. I think that might have been, I'm not sure the numbers. I think that might be Michael Burton out there as the tight end on this play. Bo Nix steps up, goes to the left side. Very good throw by Bo Nix right there to fit that pass. The defender that was low. Jaden Hicks does a great job right there, and I'm trying to see who that is. That might be Jalen Watson on the help, kind of staying low, but very good ball placement for Bo Nix right there. But Jaden Hicks, just better defense and a great play. Again, I think this just kind of shows the range, the speed, and we're going to get into more plays like this where kind of the intuition comes into play. But great job by Jaden Hicks staying with his man across the field. Very easy for especially a safety at that depth to be playing pretty much one-on-one coverage right here. That was not Jalen Watson, number 30, helping out right here with Jaden Hicks, but pretty much alone on this play. Does a great job getting that pass breakup. From the Denver game in week 18 right here, I think does show Jaden Hicks kind of range and coverage again, kind of sticking with that theme. You got Jaden Hicks right here. And honestly, something that I just noticed as I was working and getting ready to record this play is the point right here to Courtland Sutton. So I do think that's kind of what gives Jaden Hicks, that's the communication right there, where Jaden Hicks just breaks free on this route. Because, this is just a simple drag route right here. You've got a couple of receivers, I think 3 right there, to the top of this formation. And then Courtland Sutton working his way back. Little check down route here by the running back out of the backfield. So let's see how this develops right here. So Jaden Hicks takes over. DB over here on this side. So he's kind of the quarterback of this play right now, watching, saying, hey, Cortland Sutton's going across the middle. Linebacker it looks like he's in a spy or getting ready to take that running back. Let's see where he goes. Looks like he's just kind of spying Bo Nix right there. But that is the communication. Jaden Hicks breaks free on this route. The other corner is going to take the deep route on this play, sees the cross coming, and Jaden Hicks just makes an amazing play over here on the right side of the play. Cortland Sutton works his way across. I mean, look at that. And this is no slouch, Cortland Sutton right here. But look at that distance covered right there. I mean, they meet at about this point in the field, and I mean, look where Hicks is compared to where Cortland Sutton is on this play. And I think this just shows, and a great tackle. And that's another part of Jaden Hicks' game. I mean, absolutely terrific tackle on this play. Wraps him up and takes him down. And, you know, it shows like all of the versatility of Jaden Hicks and why, as Chiefs fans, we've been so excited about Jaden Hicks in general over this last year. And I think why he just kept on getting more and more playing time. I mean, look at that. That is just a perfectly formed tackle. And again, this is against no slouch. Great single leg takedown right there. I mean, and against Cortland Sutton. Mind you, remember, the Chiefs were playing the Broncos starters. This was a chance for the Broncos to go to the playoffs in this game. Amazing play by Jaden Hicks right here. And this is one of the plays that I loved when I was watching on film. And I believe the channel is A to Z Film. Shout out to them. I watched a breakdown recently of Jaden Hicks that they did. This is one of the plays that they had on their film breakdown as well. I think it's just an excellent play that really showcases Jaden Hicks' talents right here. But I do think, going back to this, I think that's our communication right here. He sees the crosser coming across, says, hey, I'm not going to be able to take Cortland Sutton. We need somebody there. And I mean, if this doesn't happen, this communication and Jaden Hicks, you know, he might be really moving that way already. The way you see him kind of turn his hips and get into full motion towards Cortland Sutton. But I mean, if Hicks doesn't do that and he stays kind of in his zone, because if we look at the other side and the other safety right up here, he's kind of sticking back. Looks like everybody's kind of playing deep on this play in the secondary. So they're looking to get some pressure. Looks like Omenihu does get some pressure on that, and I think just a four-man rush with a quarterback spy. But, I mean, there would have been no one. He would have turned that corner and been able to make a big play. Would have Cortland Sutton right there. Jaden Hicks make a play. Right there. I mean, absolutely wonderful play. Comes across again one more time. Absolutely perfect tackle. That's exactly what you want to see out of your safety. All right, next up, let's showcase some of the awareness of Jaden Hicks and just in the run game. This is him at the top of the screen right here in the divisional round against the Houston Texans. I think this is a good play just, again, to show the awareness. I mean, and to see him break on the ball. I mean, immediately when this play is ran and that handoff, Jaden Hicks realizes, I mean, there's nothing to worry about on his side of the field, right? You've got one receiver over here that immediately breaks into, I think, just blocking, crashing down, kind of maybe some type of wham motion a little bit right here. So you got a receiver that's just coming in to help block. So there's nothing like, if you thought like RPO-wise. So to see Jaden Hicks just immediately crash on this and know, hey, I've got to help somewhere out in the middle, or, you know, obviously we're looking at probably a run play. If it was some type of RPO, you know, if there's like a slant coming over the middle or something like that, that's going to be what needs to be helped with on, you know, where he's at and where he's got leverage at. So immediately just breaks down. And as soon as this thing gets into the second level, I mean, Jaden Hicks doesn't really give it a chance to get to the third level on this play. And, you know, I talk about this every time that I break down film on the defense, just to see how many great tacklers there are on this Kansas City defense. I think that was McDuffie that came around, I think, to help. Yeah. So Trent McDuffie, 2 DBs getting the tackle. And same thing with McDuffie, who does a great job. Same type of recognition right here. obviously you get that short motion. McDuffie is immediately going with his receiver and immediately snuffs out the run. You get the receiver to come inside, and immediately when McDuffie realizes the receiver isn't doing anything except blocking on this play, immediately he's going to where, the gap is. Great job by the offensive line getting plenty of room for Mixon to run, but even better awareness and tackling from Jaden Hicks and Trent McDuffie both, because those are not any linebackers making plays right there. Bolton gets blocked, stuffed on a block right there. It looks like Justin Reed is on the right side. He kind of gets tied up in that mess over there. But again, the rookie Jaden Hicks helping out the DB Trent McDuffie right there. Now we are going to get to the AFC Championship game. So I do think that, and even we saw on the PFF chart that Jaden Hicks is solid in the run game, even when he had some bad coverage games. And just glancing at this list again, 56.3 was his worst run defense of the year. 71.5 for the whole year is what he was graded against the run per PFF. So we've got a little 3-by-1 action, a little motion into a pistol formation, and another run play right here where Jaden Hicks, again, gets himself in the mix. Problem with this play, though, is that he over-pursues. He gets in the mix in this run game, but he over-pursues and kind of allows that cutback angle right here and isn't able to really help out on this play. So I want to go back and look exactly where Jaden Hicks is. So you got to show the good with the bad, right? And I think that's part of this. We're talking about a rookie in Jaden Hicks. It's going into his second year right here. So, what I like to do is, look at these guys on film that, could be have a really big impact on the Kansas City Chiefs the following year. This 2025 coming up. Jaden Hicks, I think, is a big part of that, and I think, kind of what we really strive to cover last year on this channel of guys that were going to make an impact the following season. And so right here, again, like I said, you got to show the good with the bad. Jaden Hicks up there at the top and gets a little bit of over pursuit. Great job by James Cook. I mean, we're talking about one of the best running backs in the league right now. Had one of the best years in the league. Isn't able to get into a position to help out right there just because he kind of over pursued that outside. Whereas, Cook cuts back, gets a few more yards. And I don't know if there's really too much that he could have done on this play, but just kind of something to note and see on film, I think. You see Hicks right here. Right there. I think this is the perfect view of it because you've got a good angle and, as he gets more reps in and, a veteran, maybe like a Justin Reed or something up there, you kind of sit down and wait. Just kind of strafe and be ready for James Cook and whatever he's going to do. I mean, even Nick Bolton right here kind of over pursues a little bit. I mean, he's the guy right there to be able to make the tackle. So the guy that is, helping. I think that other angle doesn't show really the angle that Jaden Hicks had on this play because I do think that he has an angle if he's not overcommitted to this run going all the way to the right side and pushing out. And he right there just kind of gets himself out of position, isn't even in the play by the end of it. So, if from the other angle, if you're like, well, Jaden Hicks really wasn't around the ball, but right there, it does, kind of shows you he had the opportunity. And we know from the previous couple of clips, he has the ability to come in and make a play like that. So I think this is something that you look at as a rookie, that he makes a mistake, overcommits, maybe 2-3 years down the road. Jaden Hicks, I mean, this is a play that he comes in and blows up a run play for, just a couple of yards, whereas the Bills end up getting, 5 or 6 on this play, maybe more. But Jaden Hicks, either way, a little bit of over pursuit happens. It's a big game, too. AFC Championship game right here that we are looking at the tape on. And now to this next play. This is a 3rd and 8. You get a little bit of motion, runs back. See how this deep coverage, and that's Jaden Hicks over there getting late. So, again, like I said, we're always going to look at the good with the bad. Let's look at Jaden Hicks up here at the top of this. and what he has headed his way on this passing play. So right here, like I said, get a little bit of short motion back out. Got like 3-by-1, the running back in kind of an awkward position already out here to the right side of Josh Allen. So almost somewhat of like a 5-wide type formation. You got one receiver here and the other trio over here to the left side of the formation. And you're running just a short route right here, sits down on it, deep route up top. And this is kind of where a little bit of blown coverage comes in. That deep route, Jaden Hicks was expecting. He didn't expect him to be the guy, though. And looks like just cover 2 right here is what the Chiefs are running. You got one zone right here. Brian Cook now is going to be the guy that's tasked to get this. And they just split the cover 2, essentially, because now Hicks worried about over here. And I even think that maybe with the still shot looking at it, again, we're kind of seeing a little bit of communication where he's saying, hey, we got one coming across that Brian Cook's not going to be able to handle. He's got inside leverage on him already, and that he's going to need some help. Whereas this route kind of stops. Maybe it was going to angle back towards, but also maybe just to take the coverage, essentially. A little bit blown, and I think that that's kind of on Hicks right there. Just because, I mean, with the inside leverage, Brian Cook is not going to be able to take that. You've got 3 safeties right here in Hicks, Reed, and Cook. As Reed is obviously playing a lot closer to the line. Great play by the Bills, though, right here. Because you do still have, I mean, I would say Brian Cook's still younger, on the younger side of things. You've got 2 safeties that you're dealing with that are a little bit younger. Reed is obviously closer, which, you know, that was one thing. I don't want to get into a whole thing about this, but Reed, not great in coverage and not really what he was meant to do in this defense. And I think that Jaden Hicks can kind of do both. But, again, rookie mistakes right here. He's worried about his side of the field. And, I mean, like, let's go back to kind of see this play set up, right? So let's just draw a line down the middle, you know, kind of looking at our zones, kind of maybe right about here where you got Hicks on one side, Cook on the other. Hicks is just too worried about what's going on his side of the field right here, I think is what this comes down to. And we'll see a similar thing later. But even, like, just look at the head placement. I mean, he is watching both of these routes and how they develop. And, you know, you're not worried about any of the 3 that could potentially come back across the field, which is exactly what they get. And, again, right there, boom. Just sees it a little bit too late. Already, when he turns his hips around to go after this route, already a solid, 2 yards at least, 2-3 yards in full stride past where Jaden Hicks is at. Not to mention you got to run a little bit across the field to get there. So just a late recognition, I think, right there for Jaden Hicks on that play. Allows a big play. They get the inside leverage on Brian Cook. Jaden Hicks isn't there to help. And a big gain for the Bills. Now, on to the Super Bowl. Obviously, as Chiefs fans, don't want to have to remember this game too much. But it is what it is. Chiefs got beat up. Jaden Hicks right here at the top of your screen. And this is kind of a similar play where Jaden Hicks, he gets a little too low right here. Worried about the slot guy, I think. One of the guys there in the middle. Got a 3-by-1 formation from the Eagles. One running back. And so I think Jaden Hicks, again, just gets his eyes a little bit too fixated on one person. And you're going to leave one-on-one coverage over the top right here with no safety help because Hicks is coming down to watch this route right here. And that's the short route right here. You've got a tight end kind of working to about the second level on this play. And I'm not 100% sure who that is right there. See if we can zoom in. That's Devontae Smith, it looks like, on that play. that is taking the short route, and that is who Jaden Hicks is worried about on this play. And instead, just go right over the top to, not sure that is 83 for the Eagles. Here's another look at it on this side, just to see kind of the separation you've got over there. And again, Jaden Hicks, you see, just like the last play, he is turned looking at where he should probably be on this play, and Jalen Watson gets burnt over there to the right side. And again, I think that Jaden Hicks right here, just like the last play that we watched, a little bit just too fixated on one part of the play. He's watching Devontae Smith, just a little easy curl route. And good recognition by Jalen Hurts. I mean, and, you know, I think Jalen Hurts gets a lot of flack, which is pretty well deserved, I think, to a point. But at the same time, I mean, he makes an excellent read because he could easily take the short, easy route right here to Devontae Smith and probably work maybe some extra yards, get into the red zone right there. He said, no, I want it all. I want the touchdown. Went right over the top. Great job. Jaden Hicks kind of blowing his assignment on that play, I think, or at least the help deep on the play. And really looks like this whole play was designed to do exactly what it did. Kind of get everybody to think low, go high on one, get a mismatch in coverage on one side. Great play designed by the Eagles right there and able to beat the Chiefs defense. All right, so next play on the list is also from the Super Bowl. Here's Jaden Hicks up here. And this one, I think, kind of, showcasing what we have talked about already. Just what Jaden Hicks can do, the amount of ground he can cover, because the recognition right here I thought was pretty crazy on this play. You've got a, medium to deepish crosser coming across the field right here. And Hicks starts in this spot right here, right? And he is going to essentially move up here and take the deep zone on this play. Whereas, he's pretty much the only guy deep until we start getting a little bit of action out there. So there, it looks like maybe a little cover 2 action, kind of similar to what we saw earlier for the Chiefs. And Jaden Hicks, I mean, what a read right here by Jaden Hicks. And, I think you really have to be, tapped in to, these guys trust each other is what I'm trying to get at. Because for Jaden Hicks to just leave his zone like that to take this, and I mean, I guess the ball's being thrown already at that point, so I mean, he doesn't, let's see, where he starts to, I mean, he hasn't thrown the ball yet when Hicks starts to break on this, because I mean, you look at him, he starts to go to his left, moves back, cuts to his right, and I mean, Hurts has not thrown the ball yet, and we're right at about the point where he starts breaking on this. Because what we're going to see is essentially, something the Chiefs used to love to do, like just kind of a deep cross play where you got one guy going up this way. Boom. And then you got another guy that's going to come back across this way. Jaden Hicks does a great job of playing this play of watching it develop and not committing too early, as we saw on the run play earlier. He doesn't commit too early because he does have help on the other side that we see take that. Turns around, breaks on this. I mean, they do give up a big gain either way, but I do think just showcasing like Jaden Hicks on this play, the defense kind of broke down either way on this one. I don't think that the linebackers really got deep enough. Go back and check that out one more time. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, really just a good play. I mean, just the crossing route. I think maybe Chamari Connor really is who to blame, because Connor takes this route all the way. Whereas I'm assuming at this point, if Hicks's job is to protect deep, that's kind of going to be Chamari Connor's zone right there, who would have cut off that route, basically, that we saw break open and Hicks come over to make the tackle on. But again, like I said, just showcasing the distance and the awareness for Jaden Hicks, I think, is something to really talk about heading into next season, because we're only going to see it get better. And that's Goddard that ends up getting that over the middle. So one last play that I have right here, and I think one of the better plays for Jaden Hicks all season. Right here he had, let's see if I can find it, 3 interceptions all season, and this was a great one. I think that also a help out with Spags, all of the kind of crazy things that he does with their coverages and switching and rotating, and because they rotated the snap. It's like the play against Miami in the playoffs where Tua threw the interception to Mike Edwards, where the safeties rotated like twice before the actual snap. So Jaden Hicks is going to start over here on one side, and he's going to rotate over. So essentially, you've got Hicks here. He's going to rotate to take the other side of the field. Pre-snap, though, on one side. Post-snap on the other side. And they're trying to do it pretty subtle. I think they do a pretty good job of it, just going really subtle. And as the ball is being snapped, they are rotating over. So it looks like, again, kind of the same deal. Cover 2. Might even be cover 2 man right here that they're running. C.J. Stroud overthrows his guy, but Jaden Hicks just does a good job. Right place, right time. Makes a play on the ball. And that's all you can ask for. Make a play. Go out there, be in the right place at the right time, and make a play when you have a chance to make a play. And again, right here, you're going to see that rotation with Hicks and Cook right here. Great job of timing that as well. They wait for the snap, and Jaden Hicks is there for the overthrow on that. So, a little bit on, C.J. Stroud right there, I think. Again, that's pretty well overthrown. Great man-to-man coverage, and they're just waiting for anything to go deep. Go back to this view one more time, because I don't think that the Texans really ran anything crazy here. You got one deep post, maybe trying to get a crosser going, I think. I think they're trying to get a deep crossing route going with the outside receivers. I don't know if Stroud maybe doesn't have time to let that develop as much as they wanted to, or what exactly, but again, overthrows it. I think that he has a chance to maybe get this completion. Maybe. that's in double coverage. That is tight either way. But with that being said, if you stuck around to the end of the video, if I can speak, I really appreciate it. I'm going to keep on working on these film breakdowns for the rest of the offseason. Let me know who you want to see next. I'm thinking maybe Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy. Go back to the offensive side of the ball if you want to see someone on defense. I had someone mention Hunter Norzad to check out his Week 18 film, so that might be one that I also work on and put out at some point. I think is interesting, kind of going to the backups on the offensive line. Obviously, with the Chiefs, you never know. NFL football, you never know who's going to be hurt, who's in, who's out, week in, week out. So I don't think that's a bad idea. Kind of like the thought of doing Hunter Norzad in a film breakdown. So let me know in the comments below who you want to see. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. Like I said, I'm on the road to 500 subscribers. I'm trying to hit before the NFL season begins in a couple of months. As well as make sure you like this video. And if you're here now, it helps me out a ton. Helps out the algorithm, push this to more football fans, Chiefs fans, whoever needs to see this film breakdown on Jaden Hicks. I'm very excited for Jaden Hicks in 2025. I was high on him coming in to last season out of the draft, what we saw out of him in the preseason. So to see him get as much playing time as he did at the end of last season, I think was awesome. And we really got to see some good stuff put on film. Clean up a little bit of the bad, and I don't think that any of the bad was, terrible or anything. I think, Hicks tries really hard to just be, that guy with, just being ready. Be like a Troy Polamalu or an Ed Reed or, some of those old school safeties that knew what you were going to do before you did it type of thing, right? And, we saw a little bit of over pursuit here and there, or getting fixated on one thing on a play and, maybe not helping out where he needed to help out. But we also saw the latter where, he was making big plays, and right here on this last one, a huge interception that he got just being in the right place at the right time on this deep post that he gets this pick on in a game against the Houston Texans. It was a pretty big game late in the season, Week 16, headed towards the playoffs, and, I mean, the fact that he was getting regularly, I mean, he got 50 snaps against Houston in the divisional, 50 snaps against Buffalo in the AFC Championship game, 39 snaps against Philly in the Super Bowl. So the sky is the limit, I really feel like, for Jaden Hicks, and he is the reason that Justin Reid is no longer Kansas City Chief. I called that, in the preseason last year, that he is going to be Justin Reid's replacement. I think that he is the guy for the job, and the Chiefs just continue, I think, to keep that window open with drafting, very talented guys like Jaden Hicks. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about Jaden Hicks for 2025. Again, who you want to see next, and I will see you in the next film breakdown.